Welcome to another episode of Core Recaps. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
And Bobby.
We're going to do a quick NBA reaction / recap of what's happening so far as the draft is going on, as well as do a recap of the NBA playoffs and kind of finish that all off with some of the stuff that's happened so far in free agency. Right now, Derek Lively was just the last pick selected.
Great pick.
As we were watching this, Grady Dick has just been selected. Congratulations.
With his very interesting wardrobe.
Yeah, I'm just telling right now, he's not pulling that off.
Maybe he thinks he's pulling it off.
Is that supposed to be like a Wizard of Oz type reference?
So I guess that means that Van Fleet's going to be leaving.
Yeah. But we're going to go get into it a little bit. Gentlemen, I want to first start off with finishing off the NBA season, mainly the last couple rounds, what we thought about it. And then we can kind of move into the draft / off season after that.
Nikola Jokic solidified himself as the best player or the second best player in the NBA, depending on how you want to rate him and Giannis.
The Embiid debate is obviously done.
Should have been done a little quicker, but yeah, he definitely shut that down. And honestly, one of the greatest playoff runs we've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, the Nuggets steamrolled pretty much through everybody. I mean, the only one to take him to 6 was the
Suns.
The Suns, yeah, the Suns was 4-2. But I mean, they swept LeBron, and then they gentlemen swept the Heat. I mean, I also thought it was a good accomplishment for a 38-year-old LeBron to take the Lakers 7 seed to the conference finals. So that was nice. Even though some people say it hurts his legacy that he got swept, but I'm like, he's 38. Just taking him there is probably good enough.
Second best player of all time.
Oh my gosh! Why you gotta start? Why you gotta start? Why
we
gonna start this?
If he wins just one more title, I'm gonna be insufferable. I just want you to know.
Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
Hey, you got the Warriors, you know.
Hey Phil, I'm reading
We'll talk about that later.
I'm reading that LeBron book you got me, by the way. I'm on chapter 3.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Great book.
On the East, Boston, they needed to do something, man. Jaylen Brown needs to spend all summer dribbling a basketball.
Seriously. And I mean, it was just like, here's the thing with the Boston, because I know some Celtics fans, like my brother, like people don't know this. My older brother, he's a huge Celtics fan, and he was talking about, he's like, man, that should have been the Celtics. And I kind of looked at him, I was like, yeah, you know what? Celtics shouldn't have gone down 3-0. How about don't do that? And maybe you're not having to have this game 7 where Jason Tatum gets hurt early, kind of kills pretty much kills any chance of the Celtics really have at least won one game earlier and not have to dig yourself out of such a huge hole.
It was just ridiculous how they got down 3-0. It wasn't even like close game. Like, their will was taken from them.
I think so. Yeah, it was looking rough. But I think a couple takeaways is going to be Jokic kind of getting his flowers, as well as the other.
Jamal Murray also should get some credit for that championship. He was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Like, regular season, he's a very good player, but in the playoffs, he becomes a superstar in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I liked it because now it also brings up the valid point of like, oh, this is what a healthy Nuggets, because unfortunately Jamal Murray tore his ACL like 2 years ago, and then hadn't been to a playoff since. Like, he hadn't played since, and that had been a big thing of like, man, they can make a run when this team, like, oh, now this team's healthy. Okay, this is how dangerous this team is.
Guys, we also got to talk about the Michael Porter. The ball stops here, Michael Porter. I mean, you want to talk about a ball stopper, man. As soon as that ball touches his hands, he's shooting.
Shoot.
You miss every shot you don't take. That's his motto.
Yeah. I mean, he did play well, especially last game he played really well with the double.
He's too talented to play as bad as he did. That's the thing. He's too talented to be.
He wasn't shooting well, but he did a couple other things that helped the team. And I think one of the most underrated players was Aaron Gordon, who's had very good move to Denver.
He abused the Heat all finals long. There's lack of size. Yeah, so he abused it. It was great.
Yeah, first when the Nuggets traded for him, I didn't think that was the greatest trade. I didn't see how much value he would bring to them, but no, he proved me wrong. He was a key factor in this championship run.
He went to a team where he didn't have to be the guy and kind of be in the background, and had the pieces, just played some good defense. I mean, he played pretty well, good defense on Jimmy Butler. Yeah.
And the finals prove that Miami needs another star. They need another big time player.
They tried to get Dame, but apparently the Blazers are not interested in trading him.
Yeah, I was like, Dame, why are you making life so hard on yourself? You can get out if you want.
Yeah.
He refuses. And so he can't complain if he never wins a ring.
It's on you, buddy.
I mean, like,
it is on you at this point.
I'm sure you're really happy with him, and you consider him one of your franchise greatest players. But I mean, Scoot Henderson over there, that's really good. That's gonna be great for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my only fear with that is that the Blazers already did a small backcourt with CJ McCollum that never works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we know.
They don't have the right pieces. We'll see. Maybe Scoot might be one of the missing pieces they need.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
I mean, they need more firepower to get through, and maybe they need to realize it's just time to blow it up, and just Scoot's going to be our guy, and we're going to rebuild, because that might be just the difference of what they really need. Back to the Nuggets.
After this season, is Nikola Jokic a top 25 player all time?
Yes.
Probably.
I think I probably have to, but I think he's definitely in that conversation. He's a 2-time MVP. He is a Finals MVP.
Yeah, the only thing that's hurting him is his defense at times.
Yeah,
like that's really what stopped him from being like an elite, like a Hakeem Olajuwon. But Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't. I don't think he's gonna reach that. So.
I would also say like Bird and Magic weren't good defenders at all by any means. So this dude was averaging like doing triple doubles. Like the things we were seeing with him are like unreal of a guy that unathletic. He probably is like he's not that like in retrospect for all those people. Yeah. Oh, he's athletic. He's in the NBA. No, I meant like compared to other NBA players. All right. He's not that athletic, but his vision's ridiculous. He gets to the basket at will, even sometimes moving like at a snail's pace, but somehow he still gets a shot like where he wants. It's ridiculous, but he's very smart of using his size to his advantage where a lot of people don't. And his defense, I feel, is kind of underrated. It's not as bad as many people make it out to be.
No, it's not as bad. In fact, I think it was on Richard Jefferson. He broke down Nikola Jokic's first final. He scored more than was it LeBron in his first final? Had more assists than Magic in his first final.
Mm-hmm.
Had the same field goal efficiency as Giannis, like defensive efficiency as Giannis. Mm-hmm. I was like, he had a great final.
Yeah, it did amazing, and he killed it. Like, the dude, they're going to be very interesting. It's going to be cool to see where his career, like, where else his career goes. Because, again, he's an elite class of 2 NBA MVPs and a Finals MVP, a ring. You know, he's in a class with Duncan, Jordan, LeBron, I think Hakeem,
Giannis,
and Wilt Chamberlain
in the past few years with Giannis and Jokic.
Like, and they both follow the same path. They won 2 straight MVPs, then the championship.
That's funny how that works.
Both of them, it just seemed like whatever they wanted to happen, happened. Like Giannis was getting to the basket, especially in the finals, at will. He was getting to the basket at will. Like, no one's getting in his way. With Jokic, it was just like, okay, cool. I might not be able to shoot today. Cool. I'll dish to every single teammate I got. Oh, we need a point? Give me the ball. I'm going to get to my spot. I'm going to get 5 feet away from the basket, and I'm going to go up with some weird layup, and it'll go in.
That's what impressed me most. Anytime the Nuggets needed a bucket in like the fourth quarter, Jokic was there.
Mm-hmm. It's like, we're good. I got this. Cool. Oh, no. Good season. Shout out. Let's see what happens next season. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this draft and everything that's happened. So, obviously, to no one's surprise, Victor Wembanyama, I'm going to butcher Wembanyama. He was the number 1 pick, to no one's surprise. Now, there's been a lot of hype. They've called him the best prospect since LeBron James, and we saw how that turned out with LeBron. So, a lot of pressure on this guy. So, what do we think?
I'm not like extremely hyped as everybody else, but I mean, I'm still hyped. I'm still quite hyped on him. Like, obviously, it's a clear number 1 pick, but I want to see. Obviously, you just need to see him in the actual NBA before you can tell for sure.
My only concern with him is health wise because he is skinny.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
but he's gonna get some NBA weight. I'm not worried about.
Oh
his
yeah,
weight.
I mean, you got
Like,
like
I
Chet
know it's
Holmgren who's
still-
already missed a year.
I think he would have an easier time putting on weight than Chet. Chet, I just
Oh,
see
yeah.
him just having constant injury issues. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Chet's frame doesn't look like it's like
Oh,
meant to get too much bigger.
Victor's looks. I can see Victor put on some weight.
He might be able to do a Giannis transformation.
I mean, he's the cornerstone now of that franchise. I mean, this is huge. The Spurs seem to always know what to do with big men. He's a big man that can run point. So
Yeah,
Now, I just need to get a confirmation on his height. I've gotten different measurements like 5 times.
we never gonna get
3,
that
7, 4,
confirmation.
7, 5.
I thought it was.
We're never
one
gonna
is
get
that?
that
I thought it was
confirmation.
8 feet last I checked.
We never gonna. But I mean, with that, the Spurs again. There's gonna be pressure, not just from that, but the last 2 number 1 picks by the Spurs were Tim Duncan and David Robinson. So the bar is enormous. But Max, what are your thoughts?
I mean, it really was the only move for them to make in this draft. So, like you said, this could be the face of the franchise. But everyone's
Yeah.
acting like he's a sure thing. I have some reservations, but to be honest, I haven't seen too much of his game besides highlight
Yeah.
reels.
Well, it's hard for
Yeah.
me to see him being a bust outside of injuries.
I think
Yeah.
he's good. It's just how long is he going to be here?
Yeah,
Mm.
and because I don't think it's not just like good. I feel like the way he's been talked about is that he's the next chosen one. That after LeBron, he's taken the mantle, and it's like again that is a high. Which some of the expectations need to go down. Like like let's not compare him to
Let
that
him grow,
status. That's a
honestly.
high
Let-
bar.
Let him grow.
All I'm saying is 7'5" is a lot on the knees. Not a lot of history of people lasting too long with that.
I think he's gonna kill it.
And out of places he could go, Spurs are a great place because you're going to have Tim Duncan's on the coaching staff, so you have him to talk to. You have Popovich, who's a whiz and a great coach. You're coming into a great organization, great coach. They're going to know how to handle that situation better, especially their track record, especially with foreign players, has been extremely good. Let's go into the second pick, as we have a lot of Charlotte fans on this podcast. So you guys, you guys go ahead and talk about the second pick.
Yeah, should have been Scoot.
I like the pick. I think it should have been Scoot, but Brandon Miller is good, and he does fit what Charlotte needs. But Charlotte usually always drafts for fit, and a lot of times it doesn't work out. I wish they got Scoot.
Exactly. Like I said, it was my thing was never about the player. Cause he's clearly a top 3 player in this draft. It's always been about his character. With the whole incident about blocking a car with someone getting shot.
I'm honestly not too worried about it. Like this season's gonna be a huge task for him to see how NBA life works for him.
But we do still have to question the decision making with saying Paul George is the GOAT. I mean, let's be real.
He later
that's very
clarified. Saying he thinks LeBron's the best player, but Paul George is his guy.
But does this make sense? If you're saying he's the GOAT, I mean,
You're saying the
there
GOAT.
really can only be one.
Maybe he's just really a big Paul George
So
guy.
we had to put that on the negative side on the pro con list here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, for the talent is there to be the number 2 pick.
Mhm.
I'm not questioning that.
Mm-hmm.
I just would have preferred Scoot, who I think is a better overall player. But again, Scoot 6'2", Miller 6'9". He could do everything that you want a 6'9" guy. He can shoot, defend. He's athletic. He can pass. He can dribble. I just think Scoot has more potential.
A big issue with Charlotte has been the decision making from up top. Hiring Steve Clifford, they got a lot of talent, but can they put the coach together and a good team around the stars? Because they got some nice pieces with LaMelo. If Miller turns out, you got some. Miles Bridges is coming back.
If they re-sign him, and Peter Washington's not bad. They re-sign him.
Yeah,
Mark Williams, I think, was a great pick last year.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they don't sign Bridges back. I would be kind of shocked.
And then Brandon Miller, he could probably play the 2, 3, or 4, depending on how you really want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they got the talent to be a playoff team. It's just I just don't like Steve Clifford as a coach.
That's a big problem for me.
Yeah.
Sign Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
We'll settle for mediocre.
No, Max. You won't be mediocre with Doc. You'll be really good, but not great.
That's fine, Bobby. I'll take even being okay.
Yeah, I'll take a second round exit.
And then right after that was the Portland pick, which that's going to be an interesting situation because there was rumors of would they trade it because Dame wants another star, Dame wants to win, but Dame doesn't want to be traded, and Miami wanted him. There's all this stuff going on.
And to me, my only question with the scoop pick, I think it's going to work out well. But now you just got two smaller guards in the backcourt. It's like with McCollum. It's like, how well is that going to work for Portland?
I mean, who else are you going to take above him, though?
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand you had to take Scoot. I mean, you'd be crazy not to.
I just question Dame even wanting to try to stay in Portland. Move on, brother.
No, if I'm Portland, I'm trying to trade him so I can make a Scoot's team, get as many draft picks as I can.
Goes to the Heat, him and Jimmy Butler together. That'd be pretty cool.
I know Trailblazers fans will be mad saying, like, oh, you can't trade Dame. Sometimes you just got to do what's best for your future.
I think most Portland fans want to see him actually win.
Right, yeah.
So that'd be fine.
And also, they kind of like realize, look, if you want to achieve something, you got to get rid of something.
Yeah.
And they might not be it for right now, unfortunately, because he only has so many years left. You're not going to be the team constructed. You're not beating Denver unless some freak injuries. You're not beating the Suns. You're not beating the Warriors. You're not beating the Lakers. Like, who you beating? You're going to have to go through some of these teams or maybe, restart. Any surprise picks so far? Besides, obviously,
Jet Howard was too high of a pick for me.
Mm-hmm.
He was picked at 11 to the Magic.
Yeah.
So Derek Lively, that was a perfect
the
fit.
Wizards took.
Oh yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Balal Coulibaly. Yeah, that was surprising.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, that probably would surprise him at 7. Like, that's a bit too high for my blood.
Yeah, and Jet Howard, I wasn't expecting him going that high. And let's talk about how cool it is for the Thompson twins to get drafted back to back.
Yeah, that's super cool.
How amazing! Like, as a family, you don't even have to wait long. Like, mom, dad, I wonder when your brother's getting drafted. Next pick.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, cool. We out. Yep, we out. We just did what we needed to be. We ain't gonna be here long.
Well, that's just pretty impressive that both of them are so similarly talented to be drafted. That usually there's a gap between twins.
But hey,
it was great, but it was let's be honest, fellas, lazy booking.
It was. The script writers were pretty lazy on that.
Jacobs and nice boy, Derek Lively got picked, going to the Mavs.
Perfect spot. Look, I'll say Lively, that was a perfect draft fit for him. To play with Luka, who needed a defender, and I loved it.
And we would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about the NBA offseason so far. Mainly the trade that happened yesterday.
I really like the Kristaps Porzingis deal for the Celtics. I think they not only got him and they got draft picks.
I don't know how that worked out for them.
And all the trade was Marcus Smart, who I know was very popular and was the heart of the team. But what they had going on right now was not working. So I think a change had to be made, and they've needed a big who could score for a while.
Yeah, I said they needed a big more than they needed Marcus Smart. And I just love how Jordan Poole was so bad in the playoffs. The Warriors were like, we cannot pay this man this money.
Yep.
They have regrets.
Yeah, I don't think there will be anybody
making bad trades all off season.
I'm
it's
like,
funny. They got more first round picks for Chris Paul than they did Bradley Beal.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, I think they got 4 first round for Bradley Beal with the trade swaps, so they could swap the picks. But I mean, there might be 0 first round picks at that point.
And they got nothing for Kristaps Porzingis.
I was like, what are we doing?
There's a lot of questionable. Like, I get you're trying to blow it up and restart because you realize, look, this team ain't going anywhere. But it was just like, really? Get a little bit more for all this?
For Milwaukee, we don't even know what they're going to look like. Brooke Lopez and Chris Middleton are free agents.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm Bucks fans, I'd actually be happy to get that $40 million back to get another good player because I think it's time to move on from Middleton.
Well, in theory, they could re-sign Chris Middleton, but for less money, so they can save some on the cap.
I just hope their plan isn't let's re-sign Brooke Lopez and Chris Middleton and try to run it back.
They need to make some change. I don't know what it is, but they need to add something.
The Warriors trading for Paul is just curious because they've been having the injury issues because they're getting older. And what did they do? They traded for an injury-prone, almost 40-year-old point guard.
And in the trade, they would just get Chris Paul. They weren't getting anything back besides that.
Yeah.
Their window was this short, so they're like, okay, we might as well just go for it.
I'm a little sad that Chris Paul didn't play with the Wizards, because then the Wizards, Clippers, and Rockets would have had the same 3-point guards of Wall, Westbrook, and Paul. It could have been done, but no, the Wizards had to ruin it.
No, they said we're moving. Here, I think they're also a little scared because remember a couple years ago when the Thunder were trying to tank, and then Chris Paul got them to the playoffs, and then the Thunder were like pissed about it. They're like, "Bro, we were trying to tank. Like we thought you were done. Like we weren't trying to get to the playoffs.
They almost won the first round against the Rockets.
Yeah, it was like they were just in a layer of like, this is not what the plan was. It was for you to come, be injured, and we were gonna tank. That's what we were doing. We weren't trying to win. So that's gonna be a little interesting ourselves. Like I said, Kyrie's still out there, so that whole saga of where's Kyrie gonna go? Is he gonna go back to LA? Is he gonna go to LA? Is he gonna stay with Dallas? That's gonna be quite some interesting momentum. The other one we really do have to talk about. We have to talk about the Suns and what happened.
Bradley Beal. They just need to find a way to get a bench now.
But like, you just blew all your money. You now have to get rid of Ayton. You have to guarantee Aaron. Ayton is gone because he was also pouting before when he didn't get the ball. You really think now he really ain't getting the ball now with Bradley Beal? So it's like, and then what doesn't make sense is also Bradley Beal, because I know some of it was Chris Paul's injury prone. So is Bradley Beal. And he's younger. Bradley Beal's gonna be missing season.
Booker and Durant are all volume shooters. So I wonder how many shots are gonna go around.
Yeah, there's only so much ball you can pass. There's only one ball.
I just tell you what, for Durant's legacy, he's really gonna need this to work out.
Yeah, if they lose again, that's gonna hurt, because if his only titles were with a team that was already championship caliber before they got him, that's gonna hurt his legacy.
I was like, well, he's like top 15, but if he doesn't win another one, does that bump him down to top 20?
I would.
It just might.
Yeah.
Your number one issue was we knew you weren't deep. That was the number one issue we saw from that Nuggets series. You weren't deep. So your bench is still a question. And also the pieces you're putting together is, at least when the Heat added those pieces, you had LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. So kind of you could see how that can work. And also they were all really smart players and would figure it out. All right. Well, we're going to keep watching the rest of this NBA draft. And you guys, thank you all again for watching. Let us know your thoughts on the draft. Let us know what your team. Are you happy with your team's draft or any draft that happened? Let us know in the comments below. Again, my name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Jay.
And may the discussions begin.